Well, hi there folks, it's Matt Asen here as we close out the first month of spring. Can you believe it? This weekend we turn a corner into October and you can almost see that downward slope into the Christmas period. But I can tell you, so far this spring, the market is trying to find some positive momentum. The initial shock and awe of the rapidly rising interest rate environment has been better acknowledged, and buyers and sellers are now better prepared for this new market environment. From a seller's perspective, what we are seeing is they are adjusting their expectations and are finding with better success now that strike point to engage buyers and get a sale concluded. Also lending now to new borrowers. They are now being stress tested under this higher interest rate environment. Last week in Sydney, it was a big week for auctions. There was 1,016 that went under the hammer for an overall clearance rate sitting at just over 45%. So it's a marginal improvement, but it is edging upwards and heading in that right direction. Also, we are seeing, according to CoreLogic data, the rate and speed of the price declines both around the country and in Sydney is starting to stabilise. We can see here in Sydney, prices are down 8.9%, but through September, the rate and the speed of those price declines are moderating. So that's a very good sign as well for the property market. So can we ask the question, is this market starting to turn a corner? Well, in our view, it's a little bit early to call something like that. But it's great to see this market starting to stabilise and also a more reliable pattern starting to emerge about how buyers and sellers both engage in the current market environment. But the big thing is this cash rate, which remains quite volatile. Last week, we saw the Fed in the US lift by 0.75%, followed by the Bank of England in the UK lifting by 0.5%. Now, locally, that's putting a lot of pressure on the RBA to lift the cash rate again by another 0.5% at their October board meeting. And also, all of our local financial institutions have now lifted their assessment of where the peak rate or the terminal cash rate is going to be sitting. Only a matter of weeks ago, including the CBA, they were suggesting that the peak rate for the cash rate would be sitting between 2.8 and 3.1%. Now, fast forward to now, and most institutions believe that the terminal cash rate is going to be sitting more around 3.6%. So what does that mean for consumers? Well, it means that your interest rate is going to be sitting at around 5.5%, but it doesn't stop there. You've also got to put on top of that the APRA stress test of another 3% for your serviceability rate. So all borrowers will be now being assessed, if this does come to fruition, at an interest rate of 8.5%. Now, if that does occur, that's going to have a material impact on what unfolds with property prices. So we move into October with some cautious optimism, if that's such a thing, but it is a long weekend. And despite that, we're still on the tools and we're showing some of the best property on the market this weekend. We look forward to seeing you out and about. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you all next week.